Hello, this is David Starr, and we're going to take an in-depth look at buying private SaaS plans. This module focuses exclusively on private plans. So if you haven't already watched the video in this series named Purchasing a SaaS Offer, I recommend you do so, as this builds on top of what we learned in that module. So let's get going. First of all, we'll learn about private plans, what they are, why we might want to use them. And then we'll discuss finding your tenant ID. This is a crucial part of signing up for a private plan. We'll see how to do this and discuss why you need to know. Finally, we'll look at purchasing a SaaS private plan, and you'll see purchasing a private plan from the perspective of a customer. First, let's talk about private plans, what they are, and why you might care about them. A private plan is one that can be seen and purchased only by the customer that the publisher designates. So a publisher receives information from the customer and ties it to the private plan so that it then shows up in the Azure portal during the purchase experience so that the customer can buy it. As a customer purchasing a SaaS subscription, there are several reasons why you might use a private plan in partnership with the publisher. One, you may have struck a deal for custom pricing. This is a very common reason people use private plans. Maybe there's a discount price or something like that. Or you may have decided on custom terms and conditions in the contractual relationship. And there are other reasons that exist, but suffice to say that private plans are for non-standard purchases of a publisher's SaaS solution. So let's look at how this works in practice. Here we have an offer with 3 public plans, but perhaps you've negotiated a special price with the publisher, or perhaps you've agreed on custom terms and conditions, different than those on the public plans. What happens when the publisher adds a private plan? The short answer is that they just create the plan with a custom pricing or with custom terms and conditions or whatever other specialty agreement you've come to together. The publisher then assigns you, the customer, to the private plan so you can see and subscribe to it in the Azure portal. To assign the private plan to you and make the association, the publisher will ask you for your tenant ID. This is a unique identifier for your Azure Active Directory, and your publisher must associate it to the private plan so you can subscribe to it. To designate the customer for the private offer, the publisher will need your tenant ID. Now, it's easy to find in the Azure portal. Let's see how this works. Here I am in the Azure portal on my dashboard. I'm going to come to the top and type tenant. I'll see tenant properties and click on that. And on this tenant properties page, I can scroll down or look down and find tenant ID right here. All I have to do is click this button to copy it to my clipboard. Now I can paste it into an email or a chat session or however I'm communicating with my publisher. Now that the publisher has my tenant ID and has associated it with a private plan, let's see what it looks like to purchase a private SaaS subscription. Private plans are made available through the Azure portal, not the Azure Marketplace homepage. So if you want to buy the product and the publisher has told you the name of the product and the custom plan, you're ready to go. We know the name of our product is EC SaaS Demo. And let's assume the name of your company is Fabricam. Let's go buy that private plan. We're back in the portal and we'll come back to our dashboard. If you have a custom dashboard, you may have a widget on there that reads Marketplace. This will take you directly to the Azure Marketplace within the Azure portal so that you can make your purchase. But the most common way to purchase an item from within the Azure portal is to come to the top left and select Create a Resource from the leftmost menu. Here we have what looks like a typical marketplace experience, even from the Azure Marketplace.microsoft.com portal. But there's one important difference. Here we see more in the marketplace. Let's go ahead and click see more in the marketplace, and we'll be taken to a slightly different view of the marketplace. One that has a banner up at the top reading, "You have private products available." And there's a link for view my private products. Now we said that my product name was EC SaaS Demo. That's what we're buying. We're going to buy a plan of that offer. So we're going to go to our private products and we'll type EC SaaS Demo, search for that, and here's the offer. Here is the product that we are about to subscribe to. We click this item and note that we can see the Fabricam private plan. We've also been allowed to view the 15% off plan. In our case, we're going to choose the Fabricam private plan and go ahead and click Set Up and Subscribe, which takes us to the Subscribe to a SaaS offer page. This is the standard page that we use to go ahead and subscribe to our SaaS plan. You've seen this in previous videos in this series, so I won't go through this here. But simply fill out the form, subscribe to the SaaS plan, and it's as simple as that. There's no difference in the purchase experience between a private and a public plan. So what did we discuss? We talked about the nature of private plans, what they are, and why we would want to use them. We talked about how to find our tenant ID so that we can pass it to our publisher or the company who is selling us the private plan that we are purchasing. And finally, we actually went through the process of buying a private plan, subscribing to it. Thank you for joining me for this quick module of the Mastering the Marketplace series focused on SaaS offers.